All right, y'all, we're going to get right to it today. We're going to do lesson 8, 3-8, and we're going to graph these with some shifts on them. So we're going to get a little bit more wild, but that's okay. We can do it. Can we graph it? Yes, we can. Don't copyright me, Bob. All right. All right, let's graph this beast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this. I'm going to find my period. Now my period on this one, there's a 1 in front of x, so it's just good old pi. Okay. My period's pi, and I'm not shifting left or right. And because I'm not shifting left or right, I know my asymptotes are still going to be at pi over 2 and negative pi over 2. Okay. Since my period's pi, I know it will repeat every pi. So asymptotes are unchanged. That 2 is my A, right? So I know that's going to change my high and my low point, and this minus 1 is going to shift me down 1. All right, so here's what I'm going to think about. This negative 1 is moving my midline down. It's not really a midline, but it's moving down my intercept, right? It's going to move that down 1. So before, my 0 was at 0, and now my 0 is going to be at negative 1. And that will repeat every pi. I shifted it down 1. What I'm also going to do is take my A is 2 this time. So my low point would have been down 2, right? So it just tells me because of my A, I'm going to go down 2 from my 0, and in between my 0 and my asymptote. I'm going to go up 2 from my new midline, okay, because I'm shifting my high and low each down 1. I'm going to kind of draw it. Oh, gee golly. That's pretty good. Okay, same thing here. Up 2, down 2. Up 2, down 2. Ta-da. We did it. All right, let's do B. On B, my A is 3. My period for this one, all my asymptotes are going to be my first asymptote plus my period times k, where k is an integer, right? All right, now for this one, my period's going to be pi over a half, which is going to be 2 pi. Uh-oh, different period this time. All right, so now I think about, I'm not shifting my 0. So 0, 0 is going to be a point. My asymptotes are going to be at pi and negative pi, because it needs to be 2 pi total with 1 pi on each side. All right. Now for my high-low point, my next 0 would be 2 pi by. I go 2 pi. Every 2 pi is a 0. So now I got to find out my high-low points. My low-high, as I say. So I'm going to go 3 down and in the middle. 3 up and in the middle. We kind of did this in class. Okay? Again, that's for my A. Tells me how high to go. And over here, 3 down and in between. Okay? 3 high and in between. Know what I mean? Stay in between. All right, there's my graphs. I did that pretty quick. What about my asymptotes? How do I label those? My first one occurs at pi, and they're going to repeat every 2 pi. K, where k, of course, is an integer. All right. All right. Let's do some more examples. Ooh, phase shifts. All right, let's do it. All right. Now, when I look at this one, I have a negative, which is going to reflect over the x, a 2, which is going to be a vertical stretch, and a plus pi over 2, which is going to be left pi over 2. So let's do it. I'm going to think about it this way. So usually I have a 0, 0, right? But now I need to move my 0 left pi over 2. So my 0 is going to move over and be right there, right? Because my period, just pi. So my asymptote, don't write this, would have been at pi over 2, right? And negative pi over 2. But my asymptote, remember, those aren't affected by the negative or the 2. My asymptote is going to move left pi over 2 to 0, right? And now I'll have an asymptote every pi. Right? Now, again, I'm doing this kind of quick, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not. So you have an asymptote, asymptote low. This negative, though, tells me I'm going to go asymptote high, intercept low, asymptote, right? I'm flipping those around. The 2 tells me from my 0, I'm going to go up 2, cut in half. Down 2, cut in half. 0, up 2, down 2, up 2, down 2. Eep, 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 eep. All right, just strikers better. But I think you guys get the drift, kind of, actually. I don't know. I can't see your faces. I'm on the computer. I'm all alone. So my asymptotes, my first one occurs at 0. So I'm going to do, or pi, I could do as pi. I'm going to do 0 plus my period, k, where of course k is an integer. I'm just cutting stuff in half, guys. All right, let's do another one. B's a good one. I have everything involved. That's my A, which is going to affect my high-low. Ooh. Yeah, I got to go through that one. This is going to move it up to, right? Right? Now, this is not set up in the same way I'm used to it. You have to think about it as 2 times x minus pi over 2, right? To get the proper shift. So I'm going to go right pi. You'll see. It's going to be wild. This one's going to be so fun. All right, so what's my period? My period is going to be pi over 2, because I got to divide by that 2 in front. So think about this. I'm going to go left pi over 2, but if my period's pi over 2, I'm not even going to see that shift. Okay? I don't even have to worry about graphing it, because it's the same as my period. If I take cosine and I move it to the right 2 pi, it's the exact same graph. It doesn't change. Okay? So that's where this one's tricky. I'm not shifting it right pi. I have to factor out that 2, because we're written, remember our form is A tan of B x plus C plus D. Okay, that B has to go to both of them. All right, let's try it out. So my 0 is not going to be at 0, 0. It's going to be up 2. Right? So I have the point 0, 2. Now, my period is pi over 2. And half of pi over 2 is pi over 4. So my asymptote is going to be at pi over 4. and negative pi over 4. Okay? So, I got my period in. Now that 3 makes my high low. Oh, this could be wild. And I could draw a dotted line here, right, for my plus 2. Moving everything up 2. So now I'm going to go up 3 and in between. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be really tall and skinny. My next asymptote, I go over 2 dots. Pi over 2. My 0 is in the middle. I go up 3 in between, down 3 in between. Alright, I'm doing really poorly here. I'm getting sleepy. Okay, and follow that pattern. I can go over it in class if you guys want me to, but yeah, asymptote, go over pi over 2. 0, up 3, down 3. It's gross. Hopefully you learned something. Hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good life. See ya.